Good day to all of you. Welcome to EC Physics. Learn physics as easy as 1, 2, 3. Through this video, we are going to discuss about one important derivation for class 12 physics from the lesson electrostatics. But before watching this video, make sure that you have already watched the previous parts of electrostatics through which we discussed about Coulomb's law of electrostatics, electric field lines, electric field due to point charge and electric dipole, what is electric dipole moment, and torque acting on an electric dipole placed inside an electric field. Today's video is to describe and discuss what is the amount of work required to rotate an electric dipole placed inside an electric field. Before we start the derivation, let us keep some of the tools ready with us. These are the topics which we have studied in class 11th as well as in maths. One is dW, that is the amount of work required to rotate an object through a small angle d theta will be equal to tau into d theta. Tau stands for torque because we studied in linear motion, W is equal to dW equal to FDS, right? In rotational motion, force is similar to torque, right? Analogous quantity is torque. So dW in the case of rotational motion will be tau d theta, which we have already studied in class 11th physics. Next, these are the set of mathematical tools we will be using in this derivation. One is integral of sine theta d theta will be minus cos theta, and values of cos for three different angles we'll be using while discussing some special case. Cos 0, as everybody know, it is 1. Cos 90 is 0 and cos 180 is minus 1. So these are the tools which we should grab in order to do the derivation in a better way. Let's start doing the derivation of work done on an electric dipole placed inside a uniform electric field. For that, we can consider an electric dipole. We have discussed in the previous videos what is an electric dipole. Electric dipole is nothing but a system of two equal and opposite charges. Let us name the charges as minus q and plus q, separated by a very short distance. Let 2L be the distance between the two charges so that each of the charge will be at a distance L from the center of the dipole. Now, we are going to place this electric dipole inside a uniform electric field. Uniform electric field can be shown by using equidistant parallel straight lines, which we have already discussed before, right? So this is the representation of an electric dipole placed inside a uniform electric field. As we studied earlier, if any charge is placed inside an electric field, it experiences a force, right? Here, there are two charges. One is minus q and the second one is plus q, which means there will be two forces acting on the dipole. One is EQ and another one also will be EQ, but since their signs are different, one is negative and another one is positive, the force will be acting in the opposite direction. This pair of force can be called as a coupled force. Coupled force, reason being, two of these forces are equal and opposite, so it cannot contribute any translatory motion because equal opposite forces will cancel each other. Resultant force will be zero, which means if there is no resultant force, translatory motion will not be there. So this dipole cannot have any translatory motion. But when you look at the forces, the line of action of these two forces are different. They are not acting on the same line, right? They are acting at different line. As a result, these equal and opposite force can produce a rotational effect on the dipole. That is why we can call this force as a coupled force. Clear? Let us take initial angle between the dipole and the electric field as theta 1. If you want to rotate this dipole through an angle theta 2, through a small angle d theta, and let final angle be theta 2. So we can find out how much is the work required to move the dipole from the initial angle theta 1 to a final angle theta 2 by using the following steps. As we discussed in the previous slide, work done will be equal to tau into d theta, right? In order to get the total work done, we can integrate this expression from the angles theta 1 to theta 2. In one of our previous videos, we discussed what is the value of torque acting on an electric dipole placed inside a uniform field, right? It is nothing but Pe sine theta. So in place of torque, we can substitute the value Pe sine theta. So the expression for dW becomes dW equal to Pe sine theta d theta. In order to get the total work done, we can do the integration of this, right? So W will be equal to integral. The limits of integration will be theta 1 to theta 2. That is from initial angle to the final angle. Pe sine theta d theta. P stands for dipole moment. E stands for electric field. Both of them are constants here. We can take them outside the integration, right? So it becomes Pe into integral of sine theta d theta. As we discussed, integral of sine theta d theta is minus cos theta, right? After doing the integration, we will be always doing applying the limits of integration, right? So you can apply the upper limit, that is minus cos. Upper limit here is theta 2. So minus cos theta 2 minus lower limit is cos theta 1. Already one minus is here. So minus minus becomes plus cos theta 1. So positive value can be written first, then the negative value. That is how this equation has come. That is W is equal to PE into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. This is the expression for work done on an electric dipole placed inside a uniform electric field. Hope this derivation is very clear. It is one of the important short answer question which you can expect in your board paper. Hope everybody understood what is this, right? Now, from the work done, we can find out the expression for potential energy. In order to find out potential energy, we need to take the initial angle as 90 degree and then the final angle as theta. So equation for potential energy will become U is equal to minus PE cos theta, because we are taking theta 1 as 90 degree and theta 2 as something another angle theta, right? So cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1, isn't it? So it becomes U is equal to minus PE cos theta. This is the expression for potential energy of an electric dipole when it is placed inside a uniform electric field. Potential energy is same as the work done itself, right? There are some special cases to be discussed here. That is, when will the dipole exhibit maximum potential energy and minimum potential energy? In this expression, if you take theta as 0 degree, then U will be equal to minus PE, which means the potential energy will be minimum here. Minimum energy corresponds to stability, right? So when theta equal to 0 degree, one thing more to be noted is we have the equation for torque as tau is equal to Pe sine theta, right? When theta equal to 0 degree, sine 0 is 0, which means when theta equal to 0 degree, U will be minus Pe because cos theta, cos 0 is 1, whereas sine 0 is 0, which means U equal to minus Pe and torque equal to 0. When torque is 0, it corresponds to equilibrium. When potential energy is minimum, it corresponds to stability. So combining these two, when a dipole is making an angle of 0 degree with the uniform electric field, we can say that the dipole is at stable equilibrium. Hope it is very clear. Next case is if theta equal to 90 degree. When you substitute 90 degree in this, cos 90 is 0, which means potential energy will be 0, whereas torque will be equal to maximum. So when theta equal to 90 degree, that is if you keep the electric dipole perpendicular to the uniform electric field, then torque will be maximum, whereas potential energy will be 0. Case 3 is what happens if you keep the dipole anti-parallel to the electric field. That is, if it is making an angle of 180 degree, cos 180 we discussed, it is nothing but minus 1. So in this expression, if you substitute cos 180, then equation for potential energy becomes PE. which is the maximum potential energy. And what is sine 180? Sine 180 is 0. So torque will be again 0. As I told you in the beginning, when torque is 0, it corresponds to equilibrium. In both the case 1 as well as in 3, torque is 0. That is why we are writing equilibrium. In case 1, that is when theta equal to 0 degree, potential energy is minimum. That is why that equilibrium is called stable equilibrium. Whereas in case 3, torque is 0, which corresponds to equilibrium, but potential energy is maximum. Maximum potential energy corresponds to instability, right? So there can be a short answer question you can expect in addition to the 3-mark question, which is going to be the derivation part. There can be objective type question like to discuss when will the electric dipole be in stable equilibrium and when will it be in unstable equilibrium. The electric dipole will be in stable equilibrium when it is placed parallel to the electric field, and the electric dipole will be in unstable equilibrium if it is placed anti-parallel to the uniform electric field. Hope this topic is very, very clear to all of you. And after watching this video, I hope the derivation of work done on an electric dipole has become so easy for you. Keep watching my videos and learn physics as easy as 1, 2,